Good afternoon. My name is Michael Fitzgerald. I'm the Assistant Director of the Department of Environmental Services Air Resources Division. Today is Monday, November 3rd, 2025 at 1:30 p.m. This hearing is being held to receive public comment on proposed amendments by the Department of Environmental Services Air Resources Division, known as the Department, to the New Hampshire Code of Administrative Rules, specifically Env-1800, Asbestos Management and Control, and the delegation of Federal Rule 40 CFR 61, Subpart M, and 40 CFR 763, Subpart E. The rulemaking notice for these rules was published in the New Hampshire Rulemaking Register on October 3rd, 2025, as notice number 2025-216. It was emailed to the department's extended list of stakeholders. It was also sent to the licensed asbestos installers, the Executive Council, and published in the New Hampshire Union Leader on October 2nd, 2025, and posted on the department's website. This hearing is being held on the date and at the time and location indicated in those notices, and the hearing is being recorded. Representing DES today are myself as the hearings officer, Carla McManus, Catherine Bean, and Carl Carlson. During this hearing, we are only receiving comments and taking clarifying questions. This hearing is being held in person as well as via remote access. Remote access is via Microsoft Teams to allow increased access for everyone interested in the public hearing rulemaking process. To speak at this hearing, the department will first recognize those attending in person who filled out a green card located at the front of the room. The department will then recognize those participating remotely who wish to speak by using the raise hand function in Teams. For those participating via Teams who wish to comment, they can do so by using the menu at the top of the window and clicking on the icon of a hand with the raise below it. These instructions will also be seen on the screen. When called upon by me, please state your name, the organization, if any, you are representing, your city or town of residence, or the city or town where the organization is located. Finally, the department will recognize the call-in only attendees who are seeking to provide oral testimony. For those participants, they can raise their hand by pressing *5. At the end of the hearing, we will ask each person participating remotely if they would like to comment to ensure that there weren't technical difficulties that prevented participation and comment. The call-in number is 1-603-931-4944, and the phone conference ID number is 698-926-93#. Call-in only attendees can raise their hand by pressing *5 and mute by pressing *6. The department has also provided two mechanisms to alert us if you are having trouble accessing the hearing via Teams. One, you may call Lisa Khmer at 603-271-4848. You may email Lisa at lisa.j.camire@des.nh.gov. I'll repeat that. lisa.j.camire@des.nh.gov. Please note, as mentioned, this Microsoft Teams hearing is also being recorded. We have anyone online, Carla?
No.
No?
Just
and
Craig.
no call-ins?
No.
Okay. Anyone wishing to submit written comments in lieu of speaking during the public hearing, or if you experience unresolved difficulties with electronically raising your hand or calling in during this hearing, you may submit your comments in writing via email to NHDESrules, all one word, at des.nh.gov. Again, NHDESrules at des.nh.gov. prior to the deadline of Friday, November 14th. Those who provided oral comments during this hearing may also provide these comments in writing prior to the deadline of the 14th. After the close of the comment period, the department will consider all comments received and will decide whether to revise the proposed rules in response to such comments. The department will file its final proposed rules for consideration by the Joint Legislative Committee on Administrative Rules, referred to as JLCAR, and post these rules plus a summary of comments received and the department's responses thereto on the department's website. We anticipate these rules will be reviewed by JLCAR at their meeting on December 18th, 2025. Now, Carla McManus, Planning and Rules Manager, will provide a brief overview of the proposed amendments to Env-A-1800.
The New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services is proposing to adopt and re-adopt with amendments certain sections of Env-A 1800, asbestos management and control, related to notification and application fees, reducing the notification time frame for some demolition projects, and streamlining application forms. The purpose of this rule is to protect the health of the public by ensuring that asbestos is managed in a manner that minimizes the release of asbestos fibers to the environment and human exposure thereto under the Asbestos Management Program. The Asbestos Management Program is primarily a fee-funded program. However, the program receives some federal grant funding specifically for inspections of schools. The program has a state statutory obligation under RSA 141E to protect the health of the public from the dangers associated with asbestos by enforcing asbestos exposure standards and controlling the exposure of the public to asbestos by regulating asbestos abatement and asbestos disposal site activities. Asbestos-containing products have been widely used and are still currently used in residential, commercial, and school buildings. The proposed amendments to increase the fees for notifications and applications are necessary to ensure that the program can fulfill core functions and ensure compliance with federal and state requirements. The current notification and application fees in Env-A 1800 were established in 2008. Since then, the Asbestos Management Program has experienced a significant increase in workload, the complexity of work that is performed, and the demand for services from customers. The number of notifications received per year has increased by 70%. The number of applications has increased by 56%, and the number of asbestos-related complaints has increased by 62%. This resulted in the necessary addition, of 2 full-time positions to be able to properly administer and regulate the program. There has also been a significant increase in costs for personnel salary and benefits. In addition, the program spends significant time and resources reviewing and processing notifications. Changes to the rule include the following: adding new categories of major asbestos abatement, primarily for fee purposes, reducing the time frame for submitting a demolition notification for residential projects being done by contractors and homeowners if the notification is submitted online with supporting documentation, increasing current notification fees, increasing current application fees, and reducing paperwork for applicants by removing the question from 9 application forms regarding whether the applicant has previously applied for or been issued an approval, license, or certification in New Hampshire. The department is able to determine an applicant's prior New Hampshire application status with its updated internal database. Therefore, it is no longer necessary to ask the applicant to provide that information.
Now, at this point, Catherine Bean, Rules and Planning Manager, will now provide a PowerPoint, the proposed amendments to Env-A 1800.
Thank you, Mike. So effective in November of 2024, the department made previous changes to Env-A 1800, including streamlining and clarifying requirements and creating separate forms for abatement, demolition, and transport for disposal. In addition, an online asbestos notification system became available earlier this year. The system ensures complete info on notifications. It includes the ability to submit inspection reports, air clearance results, and waste shipment records to reduce significant number of emails and processing time for those, and includes an online payment for current notification fees. The online asbestos application system is currently under development and planned to be available on January 1st of 2026. Under this proposed rulemaking, we're proposing some fee changes. To implement the fee changes, we proposed an incremental increase over 2 years, beginning in January 2026. First, we propose to increase fees for calendar year 26 in accordance with the Consumer Price Index to bring the fees from October of 2008 up to current dollar amount in 2025. Second, we propose to increase fees for calendar year 2027 and going forward to cover expenses associated with program management. That includes the addition of 2 full-time positions and an increase in notification and applications since 2008. The fee applies to the date the notification or application is submitted. We're also creating categories of major asbestos abatement. Project size is related to regulatory efforts involved to minimize potential risk of exposure or harm. Larger projects are usually more complex and require more review and inspection. So we're redefining in the proposed rules Type A, Type B, and Type C projects based on the amount of RACM for primarily fee purposes. So Type A is for more than 500 linear feet of RACM on pipes, more than 1,000 square feet of RACM on surface of structures other than pipes, and more than 100 cubic feet of RACM where length or area is not measurable. A Type B is considered a project that's 260 to 500 linear feet of RACM on pipes, 160 to 1,000 square feet of RACM on surface of structures other than pipes, 35 to 100 cubic feet of RACM where length, area not measurable. The upper limit is new. And Type C is less than 260 linear feet on RACM on pipes, less than 160 square feet of RACM on surface of structures other than pipes, and less than 35 cubic feet of RACM where length or area is not measured. Proposed changes for major asbestos abatement. Type A is a classification for the larger projects, as I just explained. Type B and C are similar to project sizes in the current fees. Each of these fees listed in the table are per notification. So the current CY 25 fee for Type A is $300. The proposed rule would increase that to $575 in calendar year 26 and $725 in calendar year 27 and going forward. For Type B, the current fee is $300. The proposed rule increases that to $450 for CY 26 and $600 for CY 27. And Type C is $50 under the current fee structure. The rule is proposing $100 for calendar year 26 and $125 for calendar year 27 going forward. Other proposed notification changes include a proposed fee increase for annual and revised notifications. The fee for a revised notification applies to all notifications, including abatement, demolition, transport, and annual. The purpose, we're proposing to reduce submittal timeframes for demolition notifications. So for projects at a single-family property or residential building with 4 dwelling units or less, the proposal is allowing for the submittal deadline of 5 working days before the project begins. Submittal must be submitted by electronic means with supporting documentation, and that allows for a reduced submittal timeframe. Under an annual per year type of notification, the current fee for calendar year 25 is $1,500, proposing to retain $1,500 for 2026, and then going to $2,000 for calendar year 27 and $2,500 for calendar year 28 forward. And then each revised notification for calendar year 25, the current fee is $25. We're proposing $40 for calendar year 26 and $60 for calendar year 27. And the proposed license fee changes per application are listed here. Abatement entity initial license is currently at $1,000. We're proposing $1,400 for calendar year 26 and $2,000 for calendar year 27 and going forward. The abatement entity renewal license is currently $750. The proposal is to go to $1,100 for calendar year 26 and $1,500 for calendar year 27 and forward. The asbestos disposal site entity initial and renewal licenses are currently at $250. Proposing in calendar year 26 to go to $350 and $500 in calendar year 27 and going forward. The proposed certification fee changes, again per application, are listed here on the screen. So calendar year 25 for supervisor was $200, $300 for calendar year 26, $400 for calendar year 27. Worker certifications currently at $50. The proposal would go to $75 in calendar year 26 and $100 in calendar year 27. The ADS worker and worker in training certification is currently at $50. That would go to $75 in calendar year 26 and $100 in calendar year 27. The inspector certification currently at $200 would propose to go to $300 in calendar year 26 and $400 going forward in calendar year 27. Management planner currently at $200. It would be proposed to increase to $300 for calendar year 26, $400 for calendar year 27 and going forward. Management planner is currently at $200. That would also go to $300 in calendar year 26 and $400 in calendar year 27. Same thing for the project designer. And then a combination certification fee is currently at $50 for calendar year 25. We're proposing to go to $75 in calendar year 26 and $100 in calendar year 27. That's the end of the presentation.
Okay, thank you. Okay, do we have anyone here in the room who wishes to comment?
All eyes on you guys.
Carly, anything, sir? All right, and we can still have no one online or on the phone?
No, nobody's here.
Okay, well, that makes life pretty easy here. So, seeing no one else who wishes to comment, this hearing is hereby closed. I remind you again that written comments may be submitted on or before Friday, November 14th. You must submit written comments to Carla McManus, Planning and Rules Manager, Air Resources Division, New Hampshire Department of Environmental Services, P.O. Box 95, Concord, New Hampshire, 03302-0095, or you may email them to NHDES all one word, NHDES @des.nh.gov. Thank you all for participating.